Hello everybody, welcome back to Motorsport Manager. Fourth race now of our 6th year. First in endurance racing, of course, Class B, and we're on to Munich. Tight race. I think we're going to come out on top, but we definitely need to keep paying attention to everything. Make sure we're maximizing our performance. Eurosport. Say nothing really. Losing morale for Mueller and Negrau, but their morale is still really high. Not going to worry about that. Pit crew review. Okay, let's see who we can bring in here now to help. We've got quite a few available. A couple of really nice refueling. Rear jack. Yeah, okay. Now, we'd like help on the tires as well. Okay, yeah, we're going to bring in a bunch of people here. Oh. Yep, got to get rid of some of the existing ones. Okay, so let's get rid of Fontaine. And then get rid of Delaby. Well, at least start there. And let's bring in you. And you. Okay, so that leaves us with a couple of 20s out there. And of course you might say, look, why worry about this? It's going to take 30 seconds for all this other stuff anyway. Well, I mean, who knows when we might have to repair something. I feel like we should be constantly trying to improve our team, even if it's not necessarily a big practical thing out on the track right now. So you're the backup refueler, and we should only really need one if I rotate them properly. So yeah, that should take care of that. We can bring in an 18 and a 17 on the tires. Let's get rid of Lucchese. You've got really nice stamina, but I don't think we need... You're still a strong fixer. Don't think we want you either. I think those are the two I'm going to get rid of. And then let's bring in these top two. Okay, so now for our tires, got a bunch of people that need a rest. Okay, that gives us everybody at 17 or 18, at least for this race. We've got front jack of 20, rear jack of 18, 18 and 17 on our fixers. And let's get Everard out there. Yeah, let's put you out there. There we go. And then, yeah, 18 rear jack. You're a 19. So you'd be doing a little bit better out there. Gains us 0.03 of a second. Not exactly a lot. We could get a 20 rear jack. So we should be bringing that in. 20 rear jack, 19 front. Right now we've got a 20 on the front. But no backup that's that good. I think Lamoth is going. As it's getting a little complicated to figure out who to fire and who to bring in. But we've just got a bunch of them. And yeah, we're spending some money, but I think we'll be okay with it. Okay, so now I've got 20s on both of the jack positions. That improves our time that little bit more. And then you were going to give us a 19 on the front backup. If we can figure out a place for you. I don't want to get rid of somebody who's a decent tire person. And yeah, I think Bouchard is that person who's going to go. Then we'll just sort of keep you around as a what if. There we go. So a pretty significant improvement to our pit crew, and it's really hard to imagine it getting much better from this point unless we boost our tire crew. Our tire crew is still a little bit iffy. We're strong everywhere else. Could use a better fixing person, but generally good. We're working on that gearbox. And there's our repair. Now Munich is a month away. Gearbox crucial. Nose is crucial. Suspension is crucial. The nose, we can't do much with it. The suspension is a spec part. We can't do much with it. So this race is going to be all about the gearbox in terms of the part development for the teams. And we've got one in. We've got another one coming. Probably won't wait for that second one to get in and then get that out on the track, I'm thinking. And then we also want to get, because we got that third brake. So what we want to do is get that brake out there. We might as well throw that out on the improvement as well. So we're working improvement slowly across all of these. We're working our reliability on these. And then once that gearbox comes in, if we can get that one up to snuff for this race, we'll do that as well. We're going to, whether or not we go with the brake or the gearbox or how that works, is going to depend on what condition that gearbox comes in and how much time we've got. I think I'll just run right up to where that's ready. Well, actually, maybe not, because these, nope, they're 87%, and I want to go up to 90. So that's not too far. There's our gearbox. Well, let's get in there and design a new one. I think we're going to want a third one, right? Yeah, because we have these two right here. And then if we went up to here, none of that's very exciting. So we want to go there. Obviously, we won't be able to use that one for this race. But that's our next set, and then we'll move on to the next part. So that does drop us down to over 2 million in the hole. Okay, so yeah, this is up to 45%. These are close. So what I'm interested in is what if I yanked all those out and just worked that new gearbox? Yeah, and we could get there. So I think I want to work these up together and then maybe switch back to those, you know, those parts that are at 88%. I'd like to get them up to 90. Change my mind on that again, because we're going to have that new gearbox coming out a couple days before the race. I could start boosting reliability into that for the next race if I've got extra. That's what I want to do with it, and I can always, we'll adjust this as we go. Probably do about a week at a time. Well, that didn't get me very far. Just on unemployed reserve, don't care about that. Okay. Muck has a cycling race coming up, the Tour de Lancashire. Fitness is going to go through the roof. Fitness up and marketability up. Well, that's all good stuff for us. Obviously, fitness, a big deal for our drivers. You can see our overall trying to push up there. Okay, so 61 and 65%, again 2 days before the race. Let's roll on another week. No new mail. These are up to 82 and 80%. We have a birthday. Yeah, let's throw a party for everybody on their birthday. The money is not enough to worry about. Munich, 3 miles, no lap record. Ugh. Likely to be some rain. Favors excellent acceleration, so the gearbox is key. So I will be interested to see how close we get our gearbox up there. Of course, we only have the one. 89 and 88%. Okay, we're just going to go a day at a time, I think, here. Wow, that was a big boost. Okay, yank the both of you out. Then let's throw those 88% ones out. And let's give them not a whole lot of work. Because I just want them to boost whatever little bit they will. And yeah, let's throw everything into performance now. And the other thing is, I probably should be... See, we'll take the better brake out of there. so that I can throw that gearbox on. And make that part of the improvement. If we want to catch the top teams, our simulator needs an upgrade. Much stronger rear wing. Well, yeah. The money doesn't support that right now. We're still digging our way out. Concerned about financial management. Of course you are. And there's the new gearbox. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're going to switch everything over to that. Go ahead and yank that out. No, no, no. Okay, all of you come out. Gearbox. And we'll get our little bits of performance here too, but that's what matters to us. Getting that gearbox up and rolling. Ready for Munich, and they're talking about the next vote, whether we're going to get a point system change. Reducing it from top 10 to top 8 drivers. 19 degrees, let's see, 20, 24, 19, not expected to rain. Tire wear is very low. So we could be looking at mediums, and we could be looking at significant chance with low tire wear. We might be able to sneak out looking at either one of those. I think to begin with, 8 and 6 would be enough if they're mediums. I'm going to try to go softs, unless the softs just aren't going to last long enough. And we'll have to do some experimenting to see if that's actually going to be the case. So if we go down to, yeah, I think 10 and 4 is the right amount if we're going to focus on softs. Okay, and let's get some parts on here before we look at what we're going to do with our cars. Boost up the other brake. Let's give somebody that gearbox. So that puts us 7th and 5th. So a bit of a boost there now for the team that has the gearbox, which is Castelli's car. And I think we're ready. Bit of rain here for practice. Not that much water right now. It's going to stick around though. Okay, yeah, so we're going to be using inters for practice in any case. So it actually still going to be important though to see how much we're going to have. Let's go Castelli Goddard and Muck Mueller. Yeah, neither one. You're going to both go out on inters. Now Muck, I believe, had an 88, and now he's up to 91, but of course we're going to want Mueller in the car. Let's take a look at those tires. Okay, softs are going to get about 40 laps out of them. So in order to make it the required distance, we'd have to have almost 2-minute laps. I don't think Munich is quite that long, but we'll see. It could be iffy. Otherwise, no question, mediums would be good enough. So we'll start out with this. We're going to start out with inters, of course. See, we'll go with 5.9. If I can get it back there. Don't want to change this one too much. It was pretty close. A little bit of each of those. Again, inters, which of course have plenty of distance on them. Not as many as the hard, but more than the mediums. So basically, if we're getting around this track in... I didn't want Castelli out here. I messed... Oh, hold on. I can switch. Doggone it. Yep, Goddard's my practice drive. I'm going to lose a little bit of time, but I don't think that's going to cost me. The main concern is, can we get around this track in 1:45 or less? Because if we can't, or rather if we can, then softs are not the right thing. More understeer. It's close. You're at 27:45 about to start that lap. So, do you get there by the 26-minute mark? So we want more understeer, and then we want more oversteer. We have dueling opinions. Boy, it is really close. Really close. I think we go with softs and run them conservatively if we have to. I think I'm going to stick with what I have. And more downforce for both drivers. We're racking up the inters and the race trim, just as we would desire. And it's going to dry out later, so we'll switch to softs in qualifying. Wants more acceleration. 3.9, 6.2 overall average form if you average out the two drivers. It's going to be raining for a while. I don't mind coming in for a stop here because we're gonna hit the trim before we are where we want to be at any case. Yeah, that's miserable. We're going to want to make a lot of changes here. 73%. Okay. So, as stated, more downforce. And I don't think that's enough. Let's go up to 7.6 maybe. I'm going to go up to 7.8. 7.7. We'll call it 7.7. And you wanted more understeer. I don't know if you were right, but let's say you were. And then more acceleration. So that should be vaguely close. And Goddard will be coming in behind. And also, not a good setup. 70%. Again, more downforce. Why not put it at the same spot? That's probably a bit far, though. We'll come back to 7.5 for you. And you said you wanted the handling softer. We'll see who was right. There we go. So we'll run that for the rest of getting to level 3 here. And then we should be about ready to switch over to softs by then. Track probably still be a little wet, but hopefully it'll be on the drying out period from the rain. Come on, Mueller, get there. Goddard improving form. Mueller, not so much. Right now we're looking 3rd and 8th out of the 12 in our class, which is very solid. So Mueller wants the handling the other way, so it turns out that oversteer is the better route for this track. And I could maybe come in this lap, but the fact is it's not going to be dry enough yet. So I'm just going to hang out one more. You like the speed balance. That's good. Up to 4.2. So overall driving gradually improving. There's our level 3s. And we're coming up on the... So now this is the one where I think I want to come in, make adjustments, and switch. And I could have just probably actually just made more adjustments to the setup. Maybe I should have done that. Doesn't hurt to do it all at once, though. I don't know that we're going to get to level 3. I don't know that there's enough dry weather. But we'll do what we can. Well, we nailed it, except for the handling, which is a disaster. Still, up to 84%. So clearly, we're gonna switch to qualifying because we've hit the race trim. Switch to soft tires. And our handling was okay. And it switched down to poor. So around there was okay. Want to go at least there, and that might not even be far enough. Long pit stops here, of course. But Mueller's setup should be close. I'd be very surprised if that doesn't come back at least in the mid-90s. Almost there across the board, but not really there on everything. On anything, rather. So we're at 94%. I'm going to play a little bit of guessing game here as to what needs to be changed. From poor. So I'm going to go with more oversteer, more downforce, more acceleration. Not a lot of any of those things. That's a little bit... Almost want to try it there. Yeah, let's just try it there and see where we end up. 55 seconds. That's a long time in the pit. Not that there's much choice in the matter. So now we want to spend as much time out on the track as we can the rest of the way. Get those softs in a groove. And I think our softs are going to be looking better than the other teams will, but I still want to get level 3 if there's any way we can do it. And the only chance we're going to have is to really buckle down here. Start and stops in the pits with minimal adjustments. Not so much start and stops, really. Actually, just minimal adjustments in the pits to get back out there with fuel. So one more lap after this one. And we'll have to come in. Our overall time's looking very good. I don't know how much of that is tires and weather conditions. And I feel like we're a little behind on the trim. We're definitely going to hit level 2, obviously. I don't know if we're going to quite hit 3. I think we are, but it all depends on where that finish line comes in. Yep. About 4 minutes to go, hitting that second trim. We might make it. Alright, so we're at great, and I think, I don't know for sure, but I think we want to go there. And we're not going to touch anything else. It's just going to be this 5 seconds. Go back out there on the track. That was an excellent stop in terms of making that the small adjustment that we needed to get more information, but that's it. Keep going, keep pushing that up towards level 3. Hopefully Goddard doesn't have to make a huge amount of adjustments, a category or 2. 2. So we're right there on where we want to be on the downforce. So we went from okay to great to great. So maybe I want to pull back the understeer a little bit. Went from good to great to great. So probably more understeer, more acceleration. That's what I think we're doing here. And I could have tweaked these a little bit, but I'm not going to bother for now. Probably going to have some adjustments to be making in the actual qualifying session. But I feel like we really need to get out there. Can't afford to be spending too much time in the pits here, so we're going to be hoping to make smart adjustments in qualifying to totally max out where we want to be. Okay, this is going to be Mueller's last lap, unfortunately. So that's not great timing at the finish line. Goddard's, I think, is going to be better. Yeah, he's going to have about a minute to go after the time expires. I think we're just going to make it. But we'll see. Goddard's the driver to watch, because when he crosses the line, we're done. And there's him finishing, and we're not there, but there it is. Okay. So I think I managed this practice session pretty well. We've got right where we want to be. In terms of everything except for the setup isn't quite dialed in, but getting unlimited time, getting that soft and qualifying trim locked in, I'm happy with that. So, among Class B, looks like we took the top 2 spots in practice, and we actually beat one of the Class A teams who was messing around with tires or whatever. So all of this looking extremely positive. I think we're set up well for qualifying. Social media here needs to get a clue. Only worth watching because of Loic Duval, who... And then saying, we must be worried, wonder what the issue was for us. When we did great. It was our best practice of the year. Uh-huh. Wasn't supposed to rain for qualifying, but somebody forgot to tell all of these fun people that. Let's see, it's going to be raining at first, and we don't know what it's going to do later. I think we need to go out for one qualifying lap in the rain. Go with Muck and Mueller here, just to make sure of everything. I still think, though, that we want to go with the soft in qualifying for our bonuses. Gonna assume we have drier weather later. I mean, it could just start raining again. Okay, now let's lock things into place. Top speed was... okay. That right there was excellent. So we just need that little bit more of speed. That right there should really do it. Fresh enters. You're ready to go. What about Castelli? She says, you know what? The handling still isn't there. Okay. Great. Great. Yeah, so these are all great. Ranging from here to here. And then that one was okay. I'm thinking it needs to go down a little bit. We're just going to try that. We're already at 97%, which would not be horrible. It wouldn't be great, but it wouldn't be horrible. Let's get out there and do this. Actually, let's send her out first, because we're less sure of what she's got going on. And now Muck will join. We have a bunch of other cars going out at the same time. That's always special. Still no sign of it getting wetter later, which is good. Drop you down a bit, and we'll revisit that. Good. Speed up. Come on, bring that back up before you get around. I bunched the cars a little bit close together, but I think we're going to make it. I think we're going to make it. Seemed to be a little slow getting up there, but we did. Okay, so let's see how this rolls. Still looks like cooling off. And, you know, grip forming later on. So all of that is going to be excellent for us. So Castelli's setting the mark. And then having it eviscerated. Let's see how Muck does. We're looking pretty decent out of our own group. Go ahead and speed this up a bit for them to come through. And there we go. First and fourth in Class B. Good. Now we want to switch tires. Correct any errors that we have, switch tires, and then go back out because it's going to be drying off. We need to get a dry lap in with these cars too, because these times are effectively not going to matter that much. It should be their best time that's counted, and that won't be this one. Made the handling worse. Okay. Well, first of all, we are going to switch to the soft tires. And then we need to sort this out. So we want to bring this back. And we want to drop handling back. Nope, not that way. Yeah. What's the difference between that? I think that's about right. It's about right. It's not exact, but... Let's move this. Yeah, it's... Lost the thread here of what I was doing, because this one, and this one are like the range. That one is a little further up. Okay, we're going to try that. And Muck, I want to wait just a little bit to create more of a gap in between the drivers. Of course, all he has to do is change tires and go. Now we'll slow this down so I don't blow it. I hope. Don't like all the traffic in front of Vivian here. Also don't like her low form. Let's drop this way down. On the other hand, Muck at 8.5 sort of has the opposite scenario to work with. There we go. And as expected, faster than we were on the inters. And the other cars switched drivers. So this could be interesting, because if they don't switch back, then we could have a big advantage there. Now, of course, we'll be behind after this set. And Castelli actually not as far ahead of his other lap as I would have expected. Although, actually, no, that's I think it's comparing him to her now. I'm not exactly sure. Not super thrilled. Well, it's time to give the other drivers a look. That's for sure. We're done with Castelli and Muck for this day. And her form getting even worse. Still didn't hit it. I don't know what to do to improve it. I guess I try going higher on the oversteer. I mean, we'll give it a whirl. We can always come back to this. Switch that. Switch to Goddard. Weather. No sign of anything different. And we're just switching tires and the driver here. At least Goddard's looking strong on his form at 9.1. Because I would fully expect these drivers only to get one shot at this. Mueller at 5.7. Of course, that makes it doubly important to get our setup right on the tires, but I think we're going to be all set with that. Yeah, I don't see any way that we're going to get that fourth drive in. We pretty much never do. There it is. On to Mueller. Whoa, you're super high. Let's bring you down in a hurry, shall we? Wow, perfect and perfect. So that should be stellar for him. Goddard still flying along at 9. Mueller's form improving. So all news looking good here. Goddard even getting past there, but of course that could be a Class A vehicle. And there we are. That's excellent lap there, obviously. Mueller is almost half a second slower. We still should have no problem getting the sponsor bonus, which is our primary goal. There we go. Right now our car is easily in the top 2 positions, and I do think it's because of the weather. There's really nothing else to see here. Well, let's see where Goddard is. Let's see where that setup is when he comes in. Okay. That's slightly better. So maybe I need to push this even more. That seems ridiculously high, but I don't think it's out of the question to take a look at it. Can't hurt anything. Down to first and third. A lot of the time's closing up on us now. Still, obviously, very nice to get that pole. So our qualifying seems to be getting stronger and stronger as the year goes on, which bodes well, of course, for our future. We got to get out there for the race and see if there's any unexpected rain there as well. And not a whole lot about us. Of course, they're talking about Class A as well. They should. Weather looking great, at least to start things off. Soft and race trim. We'll be looking to be very cautious on our soft tires. Of course, we should take a look at the weather. There is no sign of any rain, at least early. Temperature 19 to 18 degrees. Okay. That didn't work. So we're going to go back to 98%. We're going to accept 98 being a very slightly weakened setup. Now the question is, how many laps? We're looking at about, probably about a minute 50 per lap. 110 seconds. Just doing a little bit of calculation here. And I think we're going to get each driver through about 40 laps. So we're going to want 40 or a little bit more. Let's give it a couple extra. Let's call it 42. 42 laps of fuel. Let's see how that compares to what they expect us to carry. 53. So we're going to knock down 11 laps. I think we already did this one, didn't we? Yep. You do the setup for the other car. Of course, they're at 99. They've been at 99. So we'll see how that math works out. If it works out well, then obviously I'm going to want to stick with it. Do I want to get a different driver out in the car is a good question here, actually. And I'm going to stick Goddard. I'm going to go more with the, sort of the driver's form, because he's just as good of a driver as she is, which is actually a bit of a step down for him. So we'll go with that. And then for our other one, Muck is driving great. He's got good endurance. And, having that fired up at the beginning, that was initially important to me. Now I don't care when they get it. And we'll drop down, let's see, to... There we go. And the form is looking good. 8, 7, and 8. That's even better than I thought. Yeah, Goddard starting at 9. That's better than I thought. And then Castelli, for the second race in a row, appears to be the weak link. Though there's a long ways to go. So we'll speed up the rolling start. Right along with Muck to begin. And I think this long swooping area along here is probably our boost area. It does have a big slowdown at the end of it. Interested to see if we perform any better at the start here than we have in past races due to the fuel calculation, or if that's just bogus. Not so great at the beginning, but not terrible either. We just lost a spot to Chilton, and they're on hard tires, which should be slower than ours. Interesting. Of course, everybody else is going to go more aggressively, so we're still going to lose some time. Muck fighting for that first spot, though. Goddard failing back a bit. Chilton getting the fastest lap. Bunch of other drivers fired up. We're not. They're starting to use their boosts. We're not. So I think next lap I want to try to start boosting. And we are fading back now some. A lot of other drivers on hard tires. So it'll be interesting to see how that fares. 4 minutes in, we're down 5% on the tire wear, and that tracks with something that would last for us. I think the softs are going to be the better tire. Oh, I missed it. Really got to make sure I hit that next time. Just as soon as we get around that turn. So we've faded towards the back, as we seem to always do. Hit it a little bit late. We'll run it with Goddard next time. So getting used to when to use that boost is always a thing. And soon Goddard will be hitting his fired up period. He's driving exceptionally well. It's right around that turn right there. Yeah, I think I even waited a little bit long to get off of it. I'm wondering, can I use any? Yeah, that's a pretty good spot for it. I think maybe we've got a couple decent spots instead of having one really good one on this track. As soon as we come around that bend. So maybe I alternated here. Right around that finish line seems to be the spot. Goddard dipping to last, so we just don't seem to be able to compete at the start. But it also seems to not matter all that much. Let's take a look at some of our... Yeah, the other driver seems to generally not have as much battery power saved up as we do right now. I think that's a factor. Muck is holding fine though. It's Goddard, even though he's driving very well. That's sort of, oh, blew it again. Okay. It takes some getting used to. Both of the drivers driving really exceptionally well in form. I'm not sure I understand Goddard being all the way back here. And even the boost doesn't get him by. Maybe they just are driving more aggressively. Let's just check that out. Yeah, some of them are and some of them aren't. Maybe they may be alternating back and forth between going aggressive and slowly, and I don't know. Either way, the long run, I still think what we're doing is working. Oh, I meant to get off of that. But nonetheless, Goddard making a bit of a move there. getting up a little further in the pack. Muck holding in the middle. And now Goddard up to perfect driving. And he's up to 17th now into the fired up zone. So as we burn through our power, we are moving up as usual. That was a really nice boost. I think the timing was just about perfect. Oh, that's not where I wanted to do it. I think we'll speed this up a bit. Just rack up some more energy. And we're 3rd and 9th in this particular early going. So Muck is rallying earlier than drivers have maybe a bit in the past races. Let's see. Yeah, and we're gonna be in the red on the tires, but we're gonna make it. Whether that's a good thing or not remains to be seen. Muck really didn't lose much. Maybe some time on the top drivers, but other than that, he's very much in the competition for 2nd at the moment. Of course, Goddard still searching for respectability. Gets a couple more spots there. Got right up behind him, but could not get by. Goddard trying to get that 19th spot and almost did. Couldn't quite make it happen. And Muck now losing quite a bit of distance. I think we're seeing, you know, the tires wearing down starting to come into play. Yep, held that for too long. It just doesn't seem to have the speed to stick with Guerreri. But on the other hand, Guerreri has burned those tires more. I mean, we're going to be seeing early pits for cars frying them that hard. There's a nice little pass. Muck actually has the more energy. Go after it again. That was a bit of a mistake. Got it up to 18th temporarily. Let's boost this ahead. We've got about another 20 minutes or so. And there's our first group pitting, and again, that's a wasteful pit that they're going to pay for later. That's okay. They're down to 30%, but you've got less than 20 minutes in the car. Or about 20 minutes in the car, at any rate. That's about a good enough time to stop and drop back into the situation in any case. No, not really. You got another 15 minutes out there. Just far enough ahead that we can like dual time these. Which can really speed up boosting and then advancing more time. Give them each one more set here around the starting line. Muck continuing to search for that pass. Continuing to not get it. There we go. Yep, we know. You won't be out there that much longer. Still holding. Okay. Now we'll come back in. We are fading with these tires. We're going to come in this time with muck. You're going to switch to, well, give Negrau a shot. Problem with Negrau is he's going to burn the tires. And we really can't afford for him to do that. Especially when we need to ride it long. So I think for him only, we're going to go mediums. And also give him a couple extra laps of fuel. Continue to stay with the safe option. And I think there's enough of a gap between them. Let's send them both in. Not that far apart in form. We'll get Castelli out there. Okay. So I think overall, I don't know, it might have been better to go with mediums. Still undecided on that whole thing. Here's Negrau, and I'm not going to be able to do anything with him except for use his boost. Still really don't have any idea why my two drivers are this far apart from each other. And Castelli, of course, well behind everybody so far, which really sucks. Grau moving up due to some pitting. More to come, though. I'm not sure if we're going to move up as this thing goes on, or if we're just kind of stuck with a middling finish on this race. Grau looking to move up a spot here around this turn. He got it barely, whether he holds it or not. Yeah, there's a counter boost. So, probably not. Okay, so you can move down to medium. And conserve's a good spot for you. At least for a bit. I will be able to conserve the tires a little bit more on these laps. Because they come out at like halfway up on the tire heating, whereas at the start of the race they start lower. So I couldn't back them off via conserving there. I think you want to go back up to neutral now. Okay, so there's still a couple that haven't stopped yet. We're really sending those initial drivers out, but we are still like 6th and last. And overall in the team championship, we would lose our lead if this kept up. I don't think it will, and I don't think we will, but that's still a thing. Castelli still not burning it up. Doing pretty well, though, is Negrao. Really an understatement. She is catching some. I do think I want her to back off to conserve, though. Let's just save that tire. I just think I want to boost him at that start and hit that corner a little bit earlier. I think that's where I want to make this boosting happen after having reviewing this for a while. Right there. About halfway between those two corners. Got enough of a gap here to have them both do it every lap. So Negrao up to 4th. Everybody in with one stop. Negrao is 4th. We're still last here with Castelli. There's some cars ahead of her that she could potentially catch, but that's yuck. So we're looking like we're fighting for spots here. And 10 points off the lead. Dragonspeed is doing really well. So I mean, we're far enough into the race now, between a quarter and a third, to say, you know what? We're probably in trouble here. We'll win the pit stop game against some of them. That'll get us back up. But I don't see us dominating this one at all. Oh, I misclicked. Castelli right there looking to get a spot. Any spot. Oh, dude, that was dumb. Move back up to push for a minute. Okay, now go neutral. And then try to stay on that. Negrao just not keeping up on the medium tires. Of course, we don't have the tire bonus with that. So I think if we're borderline again, we want to go with the longer tire, the longer lasting tire. And Castelli's still trying to battle anything she can get. Look, she keeps catching up but can't stay ahead. Just doesn't seem like we've got the pace. And it's weird because that's the car we put the new gearbox on. Did a little better that time. Got in front. Might stay there for a bit. And Negrão seems to be closing back up on third. And the issue here is, of course, we need points from more than one car. We're getting the points from Negrão. He's right there behind his competitor, but we need this second car to move up and give us something. Which could still happen, but it hasn't happened yet. Negrão getting close, but not able to get by. Castelli now trying to work on Farfus, but we're running low on power now, especially with her. Negrão's got an extra set in him. He's also got more of a gap to cover. That got it under 2 seconds. Let's stick with him for another lap. But I mean, being in fourth, trying to fight between third and fifth, that's not bad. We just need both cars to be doing that well. A little bit better driving here for Castelli, up to 4-2, and she's fighting now with Farfus. I like the fact that she's been able to stay up with him, even though those tires are starting to degrade a bit. And gets by. May not be able to stay there. Still a sign of possible progress. And Negrão, I mean, he's gained a few seconds back on the leaders. May not stay that way as they pull out a power boost. Just gets by. And won't hold it. But battling and losing a little bit. Still battling. I like where my readings are on the tire temperatures for both. We're speeding towards now the end of these stints. Castelli up and down. Negrão drops a spot to fifth. And Castelli starting to whine about the tires again, less than 20 minutes. The other thing is, she's got a lot of fuel. Didn't want to burn it there, but we've got a lot of fuel here. 15 laps, 16 laps. I didn't even check that at the end of the last stint. But I feel like we're carrying too much, even with all the calculations. If so, I want to correct that. Like, I thought I was right, so I didn't even check it when we came into pit. Fifth and 10th now. At least Castelli currently in the points. Now, can both of them move up as we progress through this race? Just over a third over. Got about 10 minutes left to spend out on the track in this segment, and Castelli is going to come in first. That's for sure. We want Negrão to spend some extra time. Maybe an extra 5 minutes. 3 laps, something like that. Not a huge amount. Just enough to give us a little breathing room in the stints for the primary drivers. Well, has a nice little getting in the way and then counter boost as she tries to move up to 9th. Negrão not far behind. Yeah, he's gonna get that spot eventually. Probably now. Tires are not looking good for Chang. It moves up to 4th and 10th. Current standings. Dragonspeed is holding right where they are. So they'd have a 9-point lead on us. Missed a boost. Negrão was under pressure there from Brundle, but that was a nice little boost to keep from getting too far. He's still in some pretty tight competition. There's a nice pass. 4th and 9th. And I just don't like how low those tires are getting on our soft cars. They're just lower than I thought. Got to send Castelli around one more time. And then she'll come in. Goddard isn't ready yet, so we're going to Bjork for a longer stint. No choice but mediums. Now we're going to have almost 8 laps of fuel. So I'm only going to go up to about 36. We'll go there. That's about 5-6 laps of fuel less, so still should have a couple extra. But that should be a significant difference. I've really got to pay close attention to that fuel because it's a time saver or loser, one way or the other. I think probably a couple more laps after this one for Negrão. We'll go ahead and push the tires, get a little bit more time out of it. So I think about 36 laps of fuel is where I want to be at. And Bjork 11 seconds behind everybody, most of whom have only pit once. And he's got a lot of juice in that battery. Driving pretty well. It's time to make use of it. Okay, so this will be Negrau's final go-round. Muck is doing a lot better, but then we would end up having to do Mueller back-to-back, and that's not going to happen. So Mueller has got to get out there. Switch back to softs. And Bjork definitely picking up some ground. And Dirk Mueller making his appearance. His first one of the day. And yeah, we definitely don't want to be on push. Now it's interesting that everybody ahead of Mueller, now they're big gaps, but everybody ahead of Mueller has come in twice. I mean, Tordoff has only come in once, and they're behind. We got 3 drivers only coming once, they're behind. So I think that car is doing really well. Bjork now really starting to close this gap. It's all going to come down to this car, whether or not we can get it up in the standings. And we've got over half the race to do it. So, I mean, I think there's reasonable reason to be confident, or hopeful, not necessarily confident. And Mueller trying to stay ahead of Ferrucci, who just came out on the hard tires. Did get a spot. Where's Dragonspeed looking these days? Their points are not as good as they were before either. Probably due to some pits. And I'm on the wrong car. Get back to Bjork. There we go, and not quite getting the pass yet. Of course, there's a big gap from that to anybody else. Lost a little more distance there for whatever reason. So Mueller appearing to be a very solid fourth place at the moment. Maybe we could catch these. But he's not what has to change. Running low on energy here, but this also might be our chance to get out of last again. Got up close. Kept the inside line and still couldn't do it. And then, okay, they speed away. Missed a couple boosts with Mueller, so he's got a bunch of energy to use. Only driver on the track that's currently fired up. As a result, appears to be gaining on second place. And when first place comes in and pits, then we'll see how far behind we really are. And now 23rd, who Bjork is trying to catch, is also in that fired up state. And now Bjork is as well. So now he's going to go after, see, look, I'm going to chase you down. I think we can speed this up again after this next boost from each driver. Easily going by there. Hopefully he can keep that. Mueller just lost his and is trying to battle. Oh, we had a pit stop. Okay, so we're actually in third and possibly second there. That's all excellent. Let's move this along. This is probably a good time to push those tires for Bjork. Actually, also conserve Mueller's. Now we'll go neutral. Past the halfway point of the race. Okay, so Mueller looking better and better all the time. You can see, like, it's not out of the question that we win the race with this second car. But Bjork has kept that spot. Okay, moved up again. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to stay with Mueller here. So all of that is good. But on the other hand, how far up can we move? And I would think at least these next two spots should be gettable. And if we moved up, let's say we were anywhere on the podium at 8th. That's not exaggeration to think we could do that. And then maybe we hold that lead. So it just seems like more and more as I adjust to the fuel and the other cars' pit weaknesses come into play. Like the further along I get in a race, the better off that we're doing. And Bjork making another pass, at least momentarily. Speed burst for Beret to stay ahead of us. Used an awful lot of energy there. And we're still within 2 seconds. Doggone it. Okay. Muller's up next. Go neutral. Hit the gas. All right, now we're back in rhythm, and he's right there with second place, and only a second behind first. Of course, they've got hard tires. Bjork looking for 19th, but not getting it. Just blowing by there into second place now, and right behind first. Easily into 19th for Bjork. Okay, so now where does things look? And now we still lose the race by a little, but we retain... missed another boost. We retain our lead in the championship. And I wouldn't be super happy with that, but it wouldn't be like a crushing disappointment either. It'd just be like, okay, we punted it down the road a little bit. Muller, go. Still within 2 seconds of that lead. And Bjork has nobody within a country mile in front of him. So he's just got to try to make up time. Like, there's this big gap. And he will need... Like, the only way he catches anybody else is if they have to pit an extra time, which I think is going to happen to some of them. Muller could only pick up one spot, so we're not going to get a huge amount more points. May very well get some, but we're not going to go up by a huge amount here. Could this be the time we take the lead? Oh, well, they boosted. So, yeah, I think our boost just tried to stay with him. We actually didn't even succeed in doing that. Muller's form is... It's not what it was before. So we'll have both drivers coming in around the same time, and that's going to be about 20 minutes from now. Bjork's, gap, he's staying about the same amount right now, where with all of his gaps between him and the leaders, gaps between him and the cars behind him growing a little bit. Muller continues to stay right off that first place spot, but not quite get it. His tire's much more worn than them, though, so I'm happy with him even staying close. I'm feeling actually pretty good about our chances to win the race with that car. Pulls in front briefly. I don't see us staying there as the tires get more worn down. Still another 15 minutes for him to go out there. Or close to 15 anyway. And Bjork moves up as another car pits, but they've got one more pit than him, so who knows if that holds. But we are in first. So, I mean, if we could hold it here, then all of a sudden we'd be gaining. So, once again, another race is totally turning around for us. Oh, Bjork's about to come around. Just barely caught it in time. And seeing already condition issues for the top Class A car. With over 2 hours to go, that's not a great sign for them. Bjork's best lap. Excellent. And Mueller all of a sudden slipping down, now 3 seconds back. And even more back. So I think that his tires now are really starting to hurt him. That's what I'm going to say that's probably a sign of. And another personal best lap by Bjork. Even though he's not in the fired up zone, he's tearing it up right now. Up to 8.0 form. Mueller's form is not spectacular at the moment either. It really hasn't been the whole time he's been out there. So, a couple 3 laps to go, both drivers. Mueller staying competitive despite the tires being destroyed, so hard to see exactly how much they're hurting us. They're definitely hurting us some. Whoa, hold on. Hold on, I don't have enough fuel for this. Okay, we're going to go low fuel. And you're going to have to come in this time. Even though I prefer to send you out for one more. Well, Goddard's at 10. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to switch to him. $37 laps of fuel. All of our parts look great. Go. I think Mueller, you've got to go out there for one more lap. And now you'll come in. 4, muck for sure. Switch tires. So I like the 36 to 37 lap amount for fuel. We just got to make sure we put in more when we've got to want them to run long like we were doing with Bjork, because we could have gotten another lap out of him. Ran out of fuel right when he went into the pit row. And that's cutting it too close. Oh yeah, I hit the speed boost as I send him in. That was not the wisest move ever done in history. Let's go ahead and go conserve. We're going to go conserve now. And just speed this out and bank whatever we can bank. Other cars pass us, that's fine. Still over a third of the race to go. I want to pull these up to about 70. There we go. We'll start riding with Muck. Coming around to the right spot anyway. Then won't be too much longer till we'll move those tires back up. So at present, we are 4th and 8th. Which of course would not be good enough if it stayed that way, but it won't. Check that again in a second. Yep, and that puts Dragonspeed back up. But I think we're going to have the last laugh, and it's all going to be due to pit strategy. Held that a bit long. Particularly since I was firing the wrong driver. Ugh. Here comes Goddard. Just give him an extra one there. Yeah. Boost the driver that's in your view that is going on the straightaway, not the driver that's going on a bunch of back turns of the course. Of course, that's really... Doggone it. I keep doing this. And it, you know, it's not going to last very long. It's just annoying that I keep making the same mistake. There we go. Back to neutral. Back to neutral. Goddard. Okay. Now we're back in business. We're starting to work our temps down, starting to gain some speed and hopefully some distance. But really, we're largely just waiting for other teams to make their stops. And we're hitting the 1/3 point of the race. For both these drivers, they know it's their last crack at it, and that they won't be the ones who get to finish. We had a crash there. I don't think I even noticed it when it happened. And this time I think it was, yeah, it was one of our drivers. It wasn't one of the Class A's. Goddard driving very well. Looking to make his way up. We are behind Chilton here. Muck is. But they're on hard tires. So it's that old thing. Can we make up enough time now to make up for what's going to happen later as they have longer endurance? And I think we will. But we shall see. And they're also the de facto race leaders because we're one pit stop up on the top two. Goddard was up to 19th, slips to 20th, 19th, 20th. Battling. Let's settle that. And take another spot. Sure, why not? 4th and 6th. Now 7th. So that's a constant fight right now. And all teams that are about the same when it comes to their pits. So that's a fight we need to win. Currently in 19th. That was unfortunate right there. Getting totally blocked off by a Class A car that needs repairs. And now Muck is ready to really go after it. Goddard going to give it another whirl. Did fling by this time, and we're going to just go burn some clock. Goddard drops off to fired up, but Muck is in it. That's all right. We're going to be fine on your driving time. All right. Oh, Muck just passed the line. So we'll wait with him as he goes around another time. Only a couple seconds now off the lead. Would imagine we'll catch up to that soon. But Goddard down in 8th. So he's got 3 very passable cars in front of him. And he needs to pass them. Closing the gap there is Muck, but not quite getting past it. And there's a good start. He's going to keep fighting that fight every lap. And there it is, de facto race leaders, and fired up to boot. Goddard holding 19th. Can he grab another position this time? He got it. Now the question is, can he hold it? And Muck, of course, needs to put as much distance between himself and the field now as he can. And there's another pit stop. That'll shake things up some, and now it actually puts us in that leading spot. So everybody ahead of us, and by ahead of us we mean ahead of Goddard, has pit the same amount of times as we have, which means it's worth comparing. Yeah, and we're in the driver's seat, so this is looking like it's going to end up as a strong race. Again, did not start off that way, but I think it's going to end that way. Goddard, I think really getting him up to 5th here is our goal. We do more than that, fine. But that would require help. Plain old Stefan is just fine, thank you very much. Plain old Stefan is the Class B race leader. while Goddard continues to put the pressure on Milner, continues to not pass them. And Goddard, I think, will need to come in first because he's got a little bit more time out there. Still about 20 minutes away from worrying about that. No, you actually don't. I'm not sure that we have part condition to spare, even if you did. Probably do, actually. A little bit of a counter boost there. And Muck now leading by 6 seconds. And I would expect that we'll continue to slowly pull away. Like first and fifth will be our finishing positions if I were a betting man. Come on, get through the track. Just a few more laps to go. Well, no more than that. Keep thinking 2:12. It's an hour 12, 2:24. Goddard unable to get by Milner, even with his more worn tires. Keeping it close, though, just not quite getting through, getting by. Muck, though, continuing to gradually extend that lead. Create more of a safe zone, more of a cushion for whoever takes over in that final stint. Boy, right there, but not past. I think we'll go with one more boost from each. We might have to back off a bit. It is enough to get Goddard up to fifth, though. Very nice. So our overall... Oh, DeResta retires. But that was not a Class B driver. Muck has some catch-up boosting to do. I don't dare accelerate the time because we're getting really close to the end of a stint. We will see soon who is going to command this final hour. Goddard has slipped back behind Milner, but I don't think it stays there. He's got people right on his tail, too. It is not foregone. He does pull back in front. Soon, not yet. And we're not just pitting for fresh tires, we're pitting for you to be done for the day. Chilton coming in. Okay. Let's see. You are not going to make it around again. Okay. Who's got the last? That's not going to be Bjork. It's got to be Thelye. Switch tires. Want to give you about that 37 mark. We'll put it there. Parts are fine. I mean, we're looking at the suspension not being great, but it's not terrible either. And then we will keep Muck out for another go-round. So very well done, Zane Goddard. Muck will sit. And boy, I'd like to put out Negrao, but I don't think he has quite enough time. Let's see, is that 106.27 now, or... Yeah. So by the time we get in there... Because he's got 1:05 to spare... I think he can make it. And I think I'm going to do it. Soft tires this time, just because he's running a 10. $105.09 is the mark. So if it doesn't look like it's going to get that low, it is. Boy, this is going to be like by seconds he's going to have enough time. Okay. Oh, missed it. That's all right. Go conserve. Yeah, go do whatever. That's what you do. You do whatever. Okay, Thelye and Negrao in a rarity for Negrao. They're both fired up coming out of the pits. They're going to try to bring this home for us. Still lots of time between Thelye and anybody else. And her driving is not stellar at the moment. Negrao makes a mistake. Just goes wide. Okay. You're still the race leader. And by a good margin, because the two cars after you're going to have to stop. So, not too worried about that. Let's go neutral. Okay, so we're ready for you to make a little more sense with your decisions. What do you think about that? And yeah, running pretty high now. Definitely calm this down for much of the rest of the race. See how much this pit stop sets Brundle and company back. They come out fired up, and they come out 7-8 seconds ahead. Maybe we've got a chance to get by them. I don't know. Oh, messed that up. Okay. Seems unlikely that anybody else pits. So yeah, I think we're still first and fifth. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yep, they're pulling away here. They did come out on used tires, which gives us some additional hope. Messed it up again. So we'll just hang out with Negrao and give him an extra boost on this lap. That'll get us to something approaching parity. Still a lot of tire temperature to bleed off of his tires. Go get it done, buddy. And Castelli had lost some time, but is hanging in there now. So yeah, that's really our only hope at more points. And if she was driving better, I'd feel better about it. She is up from 3-3 to 4-1. If she can keep gaining, I don't know, maybe we've got something. Not really going to know what's there until they drop out of fired up, which they could do any darn time as far as I'm concerned. But over 20-second lead for Negrao. He's going to bring that first place home for us. And there's pretty much no mistake in that. Do seem to be gradually catching them. Fourth would be much nicer than fifth. Let's see if we can pull this off. And that's close enough. We'll just switch back to neutral there. The rest of the way. 35 minutes to go. More Class A cars lapping us. You know, I'm going to bypass our boost on this lap for that reason. It's too easy to get hung up on them. I want to start doing that more often. Too easy to get hung up on the Class A cars when they're right in front of you. Then they pull out away. There's one of them there. So just a lot of traffic for Castelli and falling back. Definitely falling back. We're about doubled that distance in the last few laps. There's more traffic. It wasn't that bad that time. Maybe I got too worried about it. I don't know. Just gonna let one lap go for Negrão. Castelli far more important anyway. And you know what? Negrão, I'm just gonna ignore it and just boost when he's full, because I shouldn't. I can get through the rest of this race a little bit quicker. I'll do double boost each lap for Castelli. Negrão has enough of a margin. Oh boy. Alright. That wasn't funny. Peroto with a pit stop, but then going crazy afterwards. All right, now we'll speed it up. Oh yeah, Dragonspeed now struggling. This could be a huge win for us. Not so much because of how well we're doing. Obviously doing well, going to win the race, but because of how poorly they are doing. Okay, you go ahead and boost everything. There's a pit stop. And we're a few seconds back of Peroto, about half a dozen back of Blomqvist. And we're really less than 20 seconds back of second place. So we're not that far away. Castelli up to 5.0. I just don't know how much work we can do with 16 minutes. See if we can gain any spots at all, if we can close this up, if we can make something happen, or if it's just not going to be a thing. And I don't think we're going to get it. And we'll speed up for a little while longer. We know. We got too much fuel as well. All right, let's drop back out here and see what we can make happen. And I just don't think it's going to happen. There's a little bit too much. I mean, we could have probably finished. Racing optimally, could have done this first and second position. But we can't complain about the results we're about to get. No siree. 3 or maybe 3+ laps to go. So we'll just stick with it here, boosting only on the front straight. Yep, and we're fading. So that's it. Yay, another misclick. But only 2 minutes to go. Just over a lap. So we'll catch up some of that speed boost back here. Not that it will matter. Reasonably well with the second car, just not well enough. And of course, car number 1 is tearing it up today. Whole lot of speed bursting going on out there. It's over. Negrão about to finish. He did. Oh, they're waiting for. Yeah, they're waiting for the race leader, not Negrão. Negrão is the leader of Class B, of course. So he was 53 seconds short of running over time. A little bit displeased there. Negrão shouldn't be. He should be darn happy. Indeed. It's not often your number 3 driver gets to actually claim the victory. But he was the one getting it done. So I put him out there. Doesn't appear that there's any big penalties. 940 kilometers, 935 for second and third place. And we are continuing to be second and fourth. They just switched places, our second and fourth place drivers. Okay, so now we've pulled out to a little bit of a lead. Not a huge lead. But Dragonspeed and Toyota / TRSM, they did not have the best day, so we have a margin to work with. Muck, very strong at 8.7. 4.1 for Mueller, didn't win any awards. 8.9 for Negrão, though. So 2 out of the 3 drivers on car 1 were excellent. Results show that. Second straight poor performance for Kesthelyi. Bjork not super happy, presumably because I didn't send him out there as much. And nobody's gaining anymore, so brilliant driving by Goddard, though. 9.6, that's amazing. And we make back some of the money we invested. So our car overall is up to 4th and actually above the median. There's a few cars slightly faster than ours, including Dragonspeed, Baikalas as well, but we're doing pretty well. Looks like we may be starting to pull away, but we need to do it for a couple more races before we can really feel comfortable. The middle race of the year is Yokohama off in Japan, so we'll be coming up with that next time. Till then, thanks for watching. More Motorsport Manager will continue.